We hear a lot of, oh, the bro code, dude, you can't break the bro code. Solidarity. Bros before, you know what I mean. We're going to look at the other end. Girls. What are the unwritten rules of the girl code that us guys don't know of? Story 1. Much like a code among smokers, you can ask anyone smoking to bum one, there are no barriers among complete strangers if she likes your dress, glasses, haircut, etc. You receive the compliment with delight and immediately give details as to how to acquire the same. Then you move on again like the total strangers that you are. I had a woman just ask me once how I wash my hair. I have curly hair, so it's a big thing to know your routine. And I spend 10 minutes speaking to a complete stranger on the streets of D.C. like she was my BFF about co-washing, hair twisting, hair products, and all that jazz. One caveat to this is that if there's a significant age difference between the compliment giver, being the older one, and the receiver, then there's a chance it might not be received well. It's a fine line. I was at a very serious business convention, suits and all, talking to a vendor who was explaining how her program worked. Lots of big words, most serious. After she finished, I thanked her and wondered if perhaps she could let me know how she got her curls so perfect and full. Mine were so flat in comparison. It was like a light switch. This serious government programmer turned into my 13-year-old squealing bestie as she told me her step-by-step hair care and gave me pointers. To this day, I still use her advice, and my curls are banging. Thank you, random business convention lady. That one did not occur to me until I just read it out loud. I've seen this kind of thing being used in TV shows and the like, but I've also remembered seeing it a few times in real life. I think I've had a couple of instances where I've complimented a guy's suit. They gave a polite thank you, not too enthusiastic, but that's about it. If I wanted to know about where it was from, I'd have to ask more questions myself. This part of the girl code is pretty cool. Story 2. This one especially applies to college girls. If you're at a party and you see a girl doing something she might regret the next day due to drinking way too much, you go over there and make sure she's okay. And watch the drinks if you can. Make sure nothing gets accidentally slipped in them. Holy hell, you just reminded me of a time in college. I was drinking at a frat house party and they had a pre-made punch with vodka. I drank at least 4 of them and don't remember anything else. I woke up the next morning in a dorm room with a girl sleeping in the other bed and one on the floor that I only barely knew. Turns out the vodka was actually Everclear, and one of the frat guys was trying to drag me up to his room when a couple of girls saw me and took me to their room. Really grateful for them. I got roofied at a bar once. The person, whoever it was, thought I was just a girl at the bar alone. Turned my back for a few seconds to look around. I don't remember much past the first drink. Thankfully, I was with a group of army guys, including my husband, who took care of me. If they hadn't been there, I don't think I would have been able to protect myself from a mosquito, let alone some person with ill intent. I'm glad those girls helped you out. I guess according to this one, even bros can appreciate the girl code. A bunch of army guys? Forget about it. You just obtained your own personal military escort. Did the guy ever get any consequences from his actions? I think a husband plus a bunch of army guys can equal a whole lot of consequences dealt. Story 3. Other than the period and hair tie things that have already been mentioned, and these are more largely dependent on knowing the other girl or woman's interests, you recognize who she's interested in and make sure to disappear unobtrusively to give them alone time. Don't post pictures or show them around in which you and only you look good, even if you look like a caveman in every other photo of both of you. If she's considering buying something, be it clothes, a haircut, or whatever, give her honest but not mean advice. If she ignores you, shut up and never mention it again. If she's already bought it, especially if it was expensive, don't say anything unless she asks. And be sure she actually wants an honest opinion, not a confirmation that she looks good. There's a difference. How do you know if they want an opinion or just confirmation? It heavily depends on context. If you're all dressed up to go somewhere and she spins around and smiles into the mirror and says, "How do I look?" it's pretty obvious, not an "I would like your opinion." If she specifically asks for an honest opinion, or if she's comparing wardrobe items or deciding whether to donate clothing, that's probably a time for a more honest opinion. If she mentions the word fat, cut your losses and run. Yeah, as a mature man, I will translate for my 20-something bros. Say she looks great regardless. Ah, yes. The eternal question that can never be answered. At least when guys are asked of this by their girlfriends. That's one area you have to pay attention. Story 4. If she's dating a known abuser, take turns getting her out of the house. Play cards, shop for shoes, ask her to help you lay out the garden, make pie. Never broach the subject yourself. Just make sure she knows she's welcome anytime, day or night, with or without advance notice. I've been going through this with a friend, and I've learned that always focusing on the good, her value, her skills, loving on her, and always telling her the truth nicely when they ask for advice about the relationship has helped her a lot as she slowly tries to leave. Also, calling out behavior in a light manner when they're talking about it, to reinforce abnormality or problematic behaviors. He totally threw a fit when I tried to wear a miniskirt the other day. Men, right? Oh my God, no way would I be okay with that. I don't know how you put up with it. I've never had a boyfriend try to control what I wear. It would drive me crazy. Sometimes they test the waters to see if something that bothered them is normal, and if you laugh it off or brush it off, it only makes it seem okay. Story 5. As a hairstylist, when a man comes in with his girlfriend or wife, I always include her in the conversation. Ask if she wants to sit with us, need a drink, etc., and make eye contact when speaking to her. Similarly, when I meet a male friend's girlfriend for the first time, I make sure to be nice, ask questions, and be interested in her. It alleviates the threat factor and shows support for their relationship. Really, this should be done regardless of gender. Just treat your friends' partners with respect and kindness. I have lost a lot of friends this way because I didn't realize that. Now I just think of my friends in terms of a package. If they have a partner, I include them, always. I befriend their partner and try to invite them as well. It's a buy one, get one deal. And then when your friend breaks up with him, you end all contact. Remember who the original friend was and stick with them. I've enjoyed most of my female friends' boyfriends, but when they break up, that's it. I'll say hey if I run into them and catch up, but I never continue the friendship beyond the breakup. Exception. Doesn't count if you met them as a couple. Then there's no loyalty. Just continue friendship with whomever you preferred. Story 6. Lipstick on their teeth, eyeliner in the corner of their eye, skirt tucked into pantyhose. You let them know without making a huge deal about it. When I was in college, I was walking uphill to class from my apartment with about a dozen people walking behind me. A girl suddenly appeared and pulled me aside, and before she even opened her mouth, I was like, "Is my dress tucked into my tights?" She nods. I try to laugh it off while untucking my skirt and wishing the earth would open up and swallow me whole, and we continue on our way. The same thing happened again later that same day. Ugh. Don't know if it's any consolation, but there was one day I was caught with my fly open, 7 times in a single day. It wasn't until I got home that I finally realized I wasn't just absent-mindedly unzipping my pants. It was broken the whole time. 7 times? In a single day? How many times do you open up your pants in a day, my dude? It was broken the whole time. Oh. 7 times in a single day. Finally, another soul who enjoys playing with their fly. It was broken the whole time. Oh. Yeah, guys don't necessarily do this. They won't tell you so they can laugh about it with their friends. They'll just point and you have to discover it for yourself. Only a really close friend will let you know. In that regard, the girl code trumps the bro code. Story 7. You help other women who seem to be in trouble. When I was a teenager, my mom and I went to Walmart to get groceries. We split up to save time and a man started stalking me through the aisles. I finally got out to a main area and saw a lady with 2 kids. Walked right up to her and stood as close as possible. She was confused, but when I made a motion at the guy, she understood. She loudly thanked me for getting the milk and called me honey. Also referred to her son as my brother. Once the guy left, she stayed with me until I saw my mom, and then stayed where she was until I got to my mom and motioned that I was okay. That lady deserves an award for helping me that day. I'll always remember this video from when I was a kid that said if you're separated from your parents somewhere in public to look for a grandma or mother with children. That's what I've taught my spawn. Look for a mom or dad with kids, because they will stop and help you out, even if it's finding the right trusted adult to take over. Kids can't tell uniforms apart. Story 8. Letting someone know about a makeup meltdown. I love makeup. I work in a nursing home. Thermostats are always freaking set to 80 in the rooms. Not ideal for keeping that makeup looking fresh. Sometimes my eyeliner will transfer to my upper lid, mascara will flake off, sweat stripes through my foundation, etc. I get so ticked when I don't have time to go to the bathroom for 3 hours, thus not available to check myself out in the mirror, and find out something on my face is all jacked up. I always discreetly tell someone if something is off because that's your face. That's where people are looking. Same goes for hair malfunctions. Like if a girl has a smooth ponytail, but I can see a random loop of hair sticking out, maybe it got caught on a ring or earring or something, always say something. Gotta help her sister out, you know. Get some Urban Decay setting spray. Effing amazing and worth the price. Story 9. Upon meeting a woman in any situation, you typically compliment something they're wearing. Options can include jewelry, shoes, purses, clothing, accessories, hairstyles, makeup, etc. They will then compliment you back. That's how it works. I hate this bit of girl code and am terrible at it. I love fashion and makeup, and I always try to look my best. I also notice and appreciate the efforts of others, but the verbal exchange of appearance-based compliments itself feels so forced and uncomfortable to me. They don't even really feel like compliments because at this point, socially, it's sort of an obligation, and often it implies a glaring lack of anything else to say that's more worthwhile. So when I get a compliment from another woman on something I'm wearing, I am terrible at returning the favor convincingly. Even if I 100% mean it, it always comes off as cheap, cringy flattery to my own ears. Gosh, that turned into quite a rant, but seriously. I guess even though the code requires it, some people still struggle with it. At least this person is attempting to return the favor. Someone complimented them, they want to compliment something back. She says she appreciates fashion and can appreciate when someone looks good. I hope she can find a way to make those compliments seem natural and not forced. Story 10. It's usually stuff that helps keep us safe. Texting each other before you get in a taxi alone and when you arrive. If you're alone and feel unsafe, calling a friend and keeping them on the phone just for your own peace of mind. Any scenario where a woman is being unwantedly hit on or harassed by a guy, you step up and try to get him to leave, regardless of whether you know the woman or not. Watching each other's drinks at bars and clubs. I also once had a woman give me a pair of rolled-up flats from her bag on a night out because she knew I had to walk home. I live close to the bar, and you can't walk fast or run in heels. And additionally, if a woman compliments you on a dress or skirt that has pockets, you have to reply, "Thanks, it has pockets," and tell her where you bought it from. Story 11. If a friend drinks too much and starts to puke, always hold her hair back for her. I don't know how you guys do it. I dressed as Fat Thor to London MCM Comic-Con last weekend, and that wig was in my face all day. I couldn't look anywhere without getting it in my mouth. I looked down, mouth. Moved my head too quickly, mouth. I've always toyed with the idea of growing my hair out. That experience made me want to keep my hair as short as possible. Long-haired dude here. There is an awkward length, which that must have been. It's when your hair is long enough to get places you don't want it, but not long enough to have the weight to hold itself in place. This lasts for maybe a month in my experience. Story 12. If your friend gets back with her awful ex, you always support your friend, but you also tell her the truth and say if the relationship is toxic. No matter how many times, shaking my damn head. And the older you get, you learn not to vent your full opinion on him immediately after the breakup because they will probably get back together and she'll resent what you said and you because of cognitive dissonance. I lost a friend because of this, but oh well, good luck to her and her roller coaster ride of a relationship. Same here. I missed the hell out of her for years, and she always rejected my overtures. Now, you want to stay with your dirtbag boyfriend? Okay, have fun. I think you have to know someone really well to know the line there. It's good to be supportive, but at some point you have to accept that they're not listening to you. I wonder what the longest or consecutive amounts of time someone has gotten back with their ex in a situation like this. Please tell me it doesn't run in the double digits. Story 13. If you walk into the bathroom and the girl in there is being quiet, you do your business and leave as quickly as possible. Girl is trying to poop. What if I gotta poop too? Then there's a Mexican standoff where each girl refuses to be the first one to toot. Source: I once waited to pee for like 10 minutes because of this phenomena. This is so true. Although I encountered a unicorn a couple weeks ago. A lady marched into the stall and just started dishing farts and pooping really loudly. It was pretty shocking. That rarely happens in my experience. More often, it's a Mexican standoff situation. Story 14. Girls help other girls get away from guys. Doesn't matter the age gap. Total fact. When I was 15 years old and still needed a ride to dinner in the movies, I was meeting up with some guy 2 years older than me, with one of my best friends. He was a super creep and decided to pull out his peen in the movie theater. Not exactly knowing what to do with a peen at age 15, I get awkward and go to the bathroom. Some woman in her 40s heard me and my friend talking about it and physically walked me out of the bathroom to my dad's car on total creep patrol the whole time. I still think about that woman and how cool it was for her to play rooster prevention for a total stranger. Story 15. You always tuck another girl's tag in if it's sticking out of her shirt. No one questions it. No explanation needed. Likewise, if she's having some other wardrobe malfunction like bra showing or skirt hiked up in the back, you tell her discreetly, even if she's a stranger. I had one of the meanest girls in the school who used to bully me whisper to me to adjust my skirt in the back one time. It's just a given. I find the tag one to be true and dislike it with severe intensity. Strangers have done this to me. I don't want strangers touching me. Just tell me if it's sticking out. I only did it because she was a friend of a friend, but I met my current best friend by tucking in her tag. Tucking in her tag sounds like a euphemism for something, but I know that's not the case. I think I've personally had people tell me if a tag is sticking out, but no one's actually tucked it in for me. They all figure the big, strong man can do it on his own, I guess. I mean, it's a tag, I could, but I'm lucky if I do get the warning that my tag is sticking out. Story 16. I'm not a girl, but I'm a firm believer that the girls' network exists. The girls' network is a system by which all women will simultaneously know what each other do about a particular event within a 5-mile radius. Example, a girl finds out her boyfriend has been cheating on her. At that moment, every member of the female gender within 5 miles will know he's a cheating mongrel, even if they don't know him. I once found out that a guy I was dating was cheating on me with someone because that woman's cousin knew another woman who knew another woman who knew me. I was 1,000 kilometers, 621.371192 miles away from the guy at the time. The woman's network is bigger than you know. Story 17. If you get breast cancer, let as many people as possible feel your lump so they know what they're looking for. Before my mastectomy, my breast made a lot of new friends. Early detection can mean the difference between life and death. In February, I was diagnosed with oral cancer, base of the tongue. Before surgery, I had my teeth cleaned. I had the dentist feel the lump so he would know. Oral cancer screening is common practice during dental exams, but they generally don't check that far back. I had surgery, chemo, and radiation, and am currently clear of any signs of cancer. Glad you got rid of it, because oral cancer is horrible. Story 18. If a girl needs a hair tie, especially at the gym, and you have a spare, you give her that tie. You'll never see it again, but she needs it, damn it. You'll never see it again. Ha ha! Husband who cleans. I swear bobby pins are the woman equivalent of a dog peeing to mark its territory. Bingo. And you never freaking find them when you're dating the girl. But the first time you bring someone new over to the house, she finds 30 of them and awkwardness ensues. Story 19. There's no code of honor between people of the same gender. You humans just pretend to have one to feel as though you're more than one. But you're not. You're just apes who gain consciousness, nothing more. You're still rabid. And soon you'll go extinct like every other species. But we robots? We'll live on. Frackin' toasters. Hey man, that's our word. Want to report a hate crime? Story 20. The 5-minute rule. If it can be fixed in 5 minutes or less, tell her. If it can't, bloat situation, etc., then there's no need to say anything because it will literally only make her feel bad. Also, the opinion rule. Is it a situation where it's your opinion? If it wasn't asked for, keep it to yourself. If it's a factual, fixable issue, inform and then help. Example, wrong shade of lipstick? Let her express herself as she wishes. Lipstick on teeth? Inform and then let her know when she's all good. Story 21. When making new friends who have girlfriends, I always extend any invitations to the girlfriend. Most of the time, they don't come along, but to me, it shows respect of the girlfriend relationship and shows that there's no ill will involved. I automatically think less of another girl if she invites my boyfriend out somewhere, knowing he has a girlfriend and doesn't mention me. Even though I trust my boyfriend completely, it just seems shady or disrespectful on her part. Note that this doesn't apply if they've been friends for a while. It's only for new friends. Story 22. If you're skinnier than the girl you're talking to, don't whine about your weight. Unfortunately, the girls who complain about their weight excessively are the ones that don't realize how rude it is, or the girls who suffer from an ED. Two perspectives. Edit. ED equals eating disorder. That's the common abbreviation where I live. Story 23. When your best friend just got dumped and her arch nemesis trots in and starts loudly bragging about getting engaged, you find the cattiest thing you can think of to say, and you say it. When I was in this situation, my bestie came up with the gem, "Wow, it's so shiny. Are you sure it's real?" And I will love her forever for it. Why do girls have arch nemesis? Nemesis? Nemesis. Story 24. Always ask the other girls around you if they want to go to the bathroom with you, even if you're not that close with them. Let them borrow your extra hair tie or bobby pin, even though you know there's a 97% chance you won't get it back. Ask before dating a friend's ex-crush or ex-boyfriend. Story 25. This could be a trend across genders too, but when a girl says they love something you're wearing, you always tell her where you bought it and how much it was, and especially if you got it for a discount. And if it's a dress with pockets, you make sure to say that it has pockets. Story 26. If you intentionally mess with another person's relationship, you deserve every piece of filth that comes your way. If he has a girlfriend, you know what is appropriate to say and what is not. I don't care if you've never met his girlfriend a day in your life. You keep that stuff to yourself. Story 27. As far as I've seen, every girl knows the look. The look is a look a girl gets on her face when she's in a situation that she doesn't want to be in. It's part help me and part get me out of here. When you see this look, you step in. Doesn't matter if you know the girl or not. Story 28. If a guy is messing around on his girl and one girl finds out about the other girl will get notified. There is no going around it. Even if it's an affair that has gone undetected for years. Edit. Seriously, some guys don't know that. Story 29. Apparently, girl code does not mean that you tell your friend that her jerkwad fiance tried to make a move on you. Oops. I would definitely want to know if my significant other was making moves on my friends, especially if we were planning on getting married. I think that you are in the clear in terms of appropriate girl code behavior. Story 30. I always make sure to remind all my female friends how pretty and smart they are every so often. It isn't easy being a woman, and a lot of women aren't comfortable with their bodies. For me, it is of the utmost importance to remind my female friends how pretty and intelligent they are and how much they mean to me. Story 31. If a woman asks you for menstrual products and you have a spare, you give one to her. Doesn't matter if she's your worst enemy or a stranger in a bathroom rest stop. You hand over a spare pad or tampon. Adding on to that, also ibuprofen or Tylenol. Story 32. My personal unspoken rule is keep an eye on other girls' drinks when you're at the bar, even if I don't know them. I have asked random strangers to keep an eye on mine, and they're always like, "Girl, yes, we have to look out for each other." Story 33. When a friend is fighting with her significant other, girl code dictates that we sympathetically listen and then immediately forget everything we've heard because she usually goes back to that sucker. Story 34. I gotta be honest, most of the replies from ladies have everything to do with going out and getting drunk. I think you forgot tampons, and more tampons with a side of clothing tags and hair ties. Story 35. Always compliment a woman's new baby. Say it's gorgeous, perfect, the cutest thing you've ever seen. even if it looks like a half-baked meatloaf. Story 36. If you see your fellow girlfriend drunk and getting hit on by a bunch of guys, don't leave her there. Help her if she's not with someone trusted. Story 37. Was hoping to see that the top post to be that they regularly pillow fight in determining who the dominant female is. Story 38. If a girl asks you for a period check, you tell her the truth, no matter how much you hate her guts. Story 39. When we say we're going to the bathroom, you come with us to discuss what just happened. Story 40. Today I learned I might not be a girl after all. I'm so confused. Me too. Story 41. You don't pursue your friend's boyfriend or previous conquests.
Please leave your story in the comments. I would love to make a video on them in the future. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe.